The Valkyrie Dominion had faced resistance before primitive militias, rebel skirmishers, even seasoned planetary defense forces. But nothing had prepared them for Theta 9. The outpost was supposed to be an easy sweep, another flag planted on their path to galactic dominance. Instead, they found the ground littered with their own dead, entire squads reduced to scorched armor and silence. At the center of it all stood one human calm unbothered, and a live dot when the Valkyrie commander demanded her kill count. She didn't answer immediately. She just tilted her head like the question itself was too vague, too incomplete. Then she spoke cold, clear, and without a trace of arrogance. This year or just this planet? In that moment, the commander realized they hadn't stumbled upon a survivor. They had stumbled upon a storm wrapped in human skin. He asked Human Marine. Her kill count, she tilted her head and said, "This year or just this planet?" The Valkyrie Dominion had always known war. For centuries, their conquests had swept across star systems with ruthless efficiency. Their strategy was methodical: invade, overwhelm, install command. They had broken the back of a dozen planetary coalitions. But when their fleet arrived at Theta 9, they encountered something they hadn't expected: silence. No anti-air defenses, no orbital resistance. Just one smoldering human outpost and scattered static on all frequencies. Valkyrie Commander, Threx. Veruin stood over a holomap of the outpost. Scans showed no energy signatures consistent with a functioning battalion. His scouts reported heavy casualties on their side. He tapped the screen, enlarging a blurry image caught by one of the surveillance drones before it was destroyed. A lone figure in human combat armor, visor cracked, pulse rifle resting against her shoulder. Alive, unmoving, unafraid. He deployed 2 more squads. Neither returned. Theta-9 wasn't abandoned. It was defended. By a ghost or something worse. Her name was Echo 9, classified as a Special Operations Marine under Earth's Unified Military Command. But even within human records, details about her were sparse. No confirmed birthplace, no family ties, no clear record of transfer or promotion. Some said she was part of Project Erebus, a rumored human program that bred soldiers using a combination of synthetic augmentation and psychological conditioning. Others believed she wasn't augmented at all, just highly trained, highly traumatized, and highly effective. But among her peers, she was known by another name, the Cleanser. Theta 9 had been her post for 6 weeks. When Valkyrie forces first landed, the outpost held 60 soldiers. That number dwindled fast. By the 3rd week, she was the only one left. Command tried to pull her out. She refused. Not out of duty, out of calculation. She knew the Valkyrie would keep coming, and she didn't want them spreading beyond Theta-9. So she set traps. She rewired atmospheric generators into proximity mines. She turned collapsed tunnels into kill zones. She waited, watching with a predator's patience, striking with lethal precision. It was not madness. It was war the way only someone deeply familiar with death could wage it. Commander Threx landed personally on the surface, frustrated and intrigued. He was no coward. He had led campaigns through the Black Nebula rebellions and oversaw the siege of Vornik. He ordered a perimeter lockdown and moved through the outpost ruins with his elite guard. The remnants of human equipment lay scattered, ripped, scorched, fused with blood and dirt. And then they saw her. She stood in the center of the courtyard, alone. The wind swept dust across the ground. Her rifle was by her side. She didn't raise it. She didn't need to. Threx stepped forward, his guards fanned out, weapons aimed. Human. He barked, "How many did you kill?" She tilted her head, as if the question was too small to matter. "This year?" she asked. "Or just this planet?" For a moment, no one moved. The silence held weight. She could have been bluffing. Could have been the result of battlefield trauma. But Threx's instincts told him otherwise. This wasn't bravado. This was a statement of fact. "You're bluffing," one of the guards hissed. She looked at him. The visor flickered, revealing part of her face-pale skin, a scar across her left eyebrow, and eyes that didn't blink. "I don't bluff," she said. Then she moved. Faster than any of them could track, she dropped, rolled, and her rifle snapped up. 3 shots. 3 guards down. The 4th barely raised his weapon before her knife lodged in his neck. Threx stepped back, calling for retreat, but it was too late. The traps were already active. Plasma charges hidden beneath their feet detonated, ripping through armor. Echo-9 didn't stop. She was a blur of efficiency, no wasted movement, no hesitation. She didn't fight like a soldier. She fought like something born for one purpose. 3 hours later, orbiting Valkyrie vessels received a distress beacon. It wasn't from Threx, it was from Echo-9. Theta-9 secure. 0 hostiles remain. Request in cleanup crew. Back on Earth, the Council of Armed Systems convened. Reports of Echo-9's solo defense of Theta-9 had reached command. General Marcus, her former CO, defended her actions. She neutralized over 400 hostiles, one counselor said. "Is she even human?" "She was," Marcus replied. "Now? I don't know what she is, but I know we need her." Despite her legendary status, Echo-9 was not invincible. Her injuries from Theta-9 were extensive fractured ribs, plasma burns, partial hearing loss. Still, she declined rest. Within a week, she was deployed again, this time to Eos Prime, a planet under siege by a coalition of mercenaries. They called themselves the Black Maw, ruthless, efficient, experienced. Echo-9 arrived alone. The mercenaries laughed. They stopped laughing when their sentry towers started falling, when their barracks exploded from within, when their commander received a package with a severed robotic arm, the one he'd personally installed on his second in command. Echo-9 didn't wage war like the military. She waged it like folklore. Each engagement added to her reputation. Pirates, warlords, rogue eyes, names that once struck fear now whispered another name behind closed doors. Hers, but with fame came doubt. Was she a symbol of Earth's strength, or a warning of what humans were becoming? In her rare off-duty moments, Echo-9 visited the veteran sanctuary on Luna, not to speak. She didn't talk much, but she would sit with injured soldiers, clean her rifle, and listen to them. One child, whose father had died during the orbital siege of Militarys, asked her if she was scared. She looked at the child for a long time before answering. "Every time," she said. "But fear keeps you sharp." That answer, caught on a candid hello recording, went viral across human space. People saw her not as a machine, but as something else, a survivor. The Valkyrie eventually regrouped. Furious and humiliated, they amassed a fleet to retake Theta-9 and push into human space. This time, they didn't underestimate her. They sent dozens of ships, full battalions, air and ground support. Human command responded. They didn't send Echo-9. They asked her. She accepted. She arrived with a battalion of volunteer soldiers who had once served with her or had simply heard the stories and wanted to follow. She trained them herself, not just in combat, but in survival, in clarity, in what it meant to walk through hell and keep walking. When the Valkyrie fleet landed, they met an organized resistance. No traps this time, no waiting in the dark. Echo-9 led from the front. She didn't issue grand speeches. Her orders were short, sharp, and precise. And when the Valkyrie commander, a new one named Varnix Draal, tried to offer terms, she gave her now famous response, "This year or just this planet?" He didn't get a chance to reply. The Battle of Theta-9 lasted 4 days. By the end, Valkyrie forces surrendered en masse. Human casualties were minimal. For the first time in years, Earth gained ground against the Dominion. Afterward, Echo 9 vanished from the public eye. Some say she went deep undercover for Black Ops missions. Others claim she retired to a remote colony under an alias. But her legend persisted. Children played soldier and shouted her line. Military academies taught her tactics. Alien warlords factored her into every strategic simulation. She had become more than a Marine. More than a weapon. She had become a message. If you ask humanity for war, make sure you ask how much. How much?